Welcome to Pull the Pin Ready War Room Edition. I'm your host, Jim. With me
And
here.
I'm the co-host, Nathan, and we still didn't get it right. Jesus.
Am I going to toss to you or are you just going to jump in? You
I
got to
don't
let
know.
me know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out next episode, maybe.
Maybe not.
Give us a couple days. We'll figure it out. We ain't figured it out yet.
We could
Why
probably do
start
this.
now?
We could probably do this 3 straight episodes in a row and still not figure it out.
Probably. I think we've done it like 50 episodes in a row. I haven't figured it out yet, so it don't matter.
Boy, it was so much easier back in the day, wasn't it?
We just made shit up.
Anyways, you know how this works. If you don't, you're new to this channel or whatever. We are just pulling headlines like most of you guys do out there. We grab some headlines and we just talk about them from our perspective, whether we know what the hell they're about or not. And we are veterans, so we've been around the world and we've seen a lot of things, and we know what we're talking about more than you, I think.
And all of our opinions are correct.
Yes, they can't be fact checked because they're correct opinion facts.
Yeah.
Fact opinions.
You're right. I don't think we've ever had anything fact checked on here, so that must mean we do speak facts.
Yeah, right? Or nobody watches us and they didn't even notice we're talking on here.
Whatever works.
Yeah,
I'm going with my
I
theory.
like your side. You're more an optimist. I'm the pessimist. Yep, you're right. You're right. So anyway, since it's what we do, why don't we do that? You got a headline?
Let's spit our facts.
Oh, look at this. Navy drone ship nearly captured by Iran during Fifth Fleet encounter.
So is this a unmanned ship? Because I thought drones were things that flew in the sky. So is that a Navy ship that carries drones that got captured? Or is it a ship that's unmanned, driven by a drone?
Maybe it's a drone manufacturing ship that they make them at. I mean, I guess the real question though, really, who cares what ship it was?
And what's nearly captured? I mean, come on now. Iran drives by our ships all the time. And Fifth Fleet's a pretty big fleet. I don't know if the whole fleet's out there or not, but I'm not Navy, so I really don't know how big a Fifth Fleet is.
It's bigger than a fourth, I bet.
I was going to say, but not quite like the sixth. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right,
exactly, I was going with that too.
I wonder if the Navy knows how big it is. Do you know how many ships you got?
Hey, how many ships are in your Fifth Fleet?
Well, I know we had a headline before.
Well, you know what? I mean, this really isn't a headline. How many nearly captured? I doubt it was nearly captured. I'm sure an Iranian ship drove close to it, and that was about all that happened.
Yeah.
I mean, were the Iranians swimming aboard and climb up the ladders, and the Navy had to shoot them off the ladders? I mean, what's nearly captured? Come on now.
And what is, well, like you said, what's a drone ship? It's like one of those little ones that you get in the ponds at those places, those parks, and you just
drive them around.
So the Iran accidentally thought it was a piece of garbage they were pulling out of the What was it? Like, what is it? I mean, I don't even know what a Navy drone ship is.
Well, come on, you Navy vets. Let's get on the show and talk about this. Come on.
Exactly.
We welcome all you.
Yeah, we could use one of our Navy vets right now. Not saying anything looking at you, Joe. I'm just saying. Yeah, sure. What's a Navy drone ship? Hey, leave a comment. Tell me what it is, or we can go back and try to find the article.
I'm not reading the article.
You can look at a picture, though, right? You can look at a picture?
What about this picture?
Oh, great. All right. LA libraries host drag queen story hour events targeted at children.
Well, it is California. I'm assuming it's LA as in Los Angeles and not Louisiana. Yeah, that's my assumption on the headline, because I don't think Louisiana.
You're probably right.
I don't think there are libraries in Louisiana.
Wow, dude. Wow. That's
How
hard,
low is that blow?
That was hard. I don't know which one was worse, the California mock or the Wow.
Yeah, that's pathetic. I mean, you're just targeting. Exactly what it says. You're targeting children. They're your target.
You know, and there's so many dynamics. I know these titles kind of make you ill, but there's so many dynamics to this. If this was the one I saw where Antifa showed up in black and had rifles like AR-15. Like when other people have them, they're scary. But when Antifa shows up at a drag thing, it's not big headline.
Do they have a big
right?
orange tip? Do they have a big orange tip on them?
I don't know, but I saw the water dripping out the bottom. But you get what I'm saying? It's so funny.
That was the Antifa guy sweating his ass off because he has a gun in his hands.
Right. And he's dressed in black, probably on a hot summer day. But I mean, if that is the one they're talking about, because I saw that. I mean, good for them and their Second Amendment right. Good for them. But I just really like, I want to call these punks out. Like I really so bad, would have loved to just roll up there.
You know what? You can't. It was so they had a drag queen story event for children. Children didn't have to go. What parents brought their children?
You're right. And there was another video I saw too, not too long ago, about a drag queen that apparently dresses drag all the time. I guess, I don't know, chastising those parents and said this, this is a point I didn't even consider, right? We're looking at this angle as this group is trying to take the kids and, groom them and all that stuff. But this guy said, no, drag queen is for adults. He says, don't bring your kids into our space. That's for us. And I sat there. Yeah.
That's good. I've been to drag queen shows. They're fun. They're funny. That's what they do. And when that drag queen said, don't bring your kids here. Well, then you know what? I respect that drag queen.
Yeah. You really been to drag queen shows?
Oh, dude, they're fun. You should go.
Yeah, no. No, I did have a neighbor growing up, though. I did have a neighbor growing up who was what?
Don't hate it. Don't hate it till you try it.
Back then, they were called cross dressers, right? Or whatever. I don't know.
Cross dressers dress as guys, dress as girls. Girls just drag queens just go. They're extreme.
Right.
They're over. Like they're over. Yeah, they're over the top. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, you're right. The parents. What parents is doing that? But he was ragging on them. He was like, "You're not doing anybody a favor by proving to your children that there could be diversified or inclusive, or you're not doing anybody." He's like, "That's our space." You know what I mean? And you're given, he was gay. He was a drag queen, part of the
that's usually
gay mafia.
That's what drag queens are. They're usually dudes dressed as girls. That's how drag.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they participate. That doesn't mean they participate in all the activities. You know what I mean? They just want to look like a woman.
I think for the most part they do. I'm going to make an assumption.
Well, you can make that assumption, but I mean, to be honest with you, they don't look like a woman. They look like some cartoon version of a woman. So it's like a clown version of a woman.
Oh, in fact, they're dressed extra. Yeah, they have all the extra garb on and heavy makeup usually, and yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know. Like, shouldn't women be mad? Like, you're like trying to humiliate us, embarrass us. We don't look like that. You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't women be offended? I don't know.
No, they're shows. It's like comedy. If you want to go to a comedy show and get offended, don't go to a comedy show. If you're offended by drag queens, don't go to a drag queen show.
Yeah, I'm not offended by any of that nonsense. But I don't call it nonsense. It's entertainment. I mean, even just watching some people make fun of
you just said it. It's entertainment, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about a story hour. I haven't been to a story hour from drag queens, but.
Well, yeah, and at the end of the day, too, it's just the children part. I think that makes a lot of people uneasy. Let the kids be kids. If they grow up and they want to do it, then
it's the event. But parents took their kids to it, so
yeah, that's the shame. Really, that is the shame. What is a parent thinking? Like, what does it take for a parent to think?
Yeah, what are these people thinking?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they don't think. Dems demand another $50 million in additional food aid for illegals.
I don't know if we have the other article today. There's just another article that I didn't read. I read the headline, but I read comments on the headline, and it was like Biden wants to do extreme persecution of people that are bringing fentanyl. They're like, close the border.
I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Close the border, and you might not have that problem. So you know what? Close the border, and you might not have this problem.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know what?
They want to blow money. Use that money to close the border, and you won't need additional food for illegals. You won't need to do stiff penalties for people bringing fentanyl across the border because they won't do it, or they will, but not as many will.
Yeah, I see. Here comes the problem. The problem is this: is if you talk about the deep state or the establishment, you're a conspiracy theorist, right? But I'm tired of talking. Like, why are we talking about Biden? Like, why? The Democrats don't even listen to Biden. Nobody listens to Biden. Nobody likes Biden. Nobody listens to Biden. And even when he says something like, "Oh, we're not going to allow that," and then they go pass a bill that allows that, he don't even know it's in there. Like, so Biden's not running this country. It's the Pelosi establishments and all those clowns there.
Well,
They're the ones running
it's
it.
just like that bill that every Republican voted no for to fund the police. It's how they're pushing this bill now. Every
Right.
Republican voted no on this bill, and they had stuff to fund the police.
Yeah, like by
And,
2%, right?
and what? Well, yeah. And then what else was in that crap ass bill?
Mm-hmm.
So now they're
That's
trying to
what
push.
the
Now they're trying to push that. They're not voting for the funding the police anymore. Get the hell out of here.
right,
People are.
right. That
They're not dumb enough to see through your smoke anymore. We
well, I'm
all see it.
hoping that. I hope that, dude. I really hope that they're so blatantly, obviously stupid in your face that people are. But I told you we had this discussion before. We had this before. These people that still support these idiots, they really don't care if it's hypocrisy or a hierarchy. They don't care because once they realize that you are a bad person, then the ends justify the mean. So no matter what Nate says, because Nate's in this group and he's a bad person, no matter what Nate says, no matter whether it's good or bad, it's wrong because he's in this group and he's a bad person.
Yeah, that goes
That's the
both
way
ways.
these people think.
Yeah, and that goes both ways too. It's
Do you believe that?
oh yeah, yeah.
Like, what do you mean by?
Like if the Democrats want something, Republicans say nope. Democrats want it. It's not good. If Republicans want
Sure,
something,
sure.
Democrats say nope, nope. Republicans want it's not
Okay,
good.
you're talking strictly politicians, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just like
Because
top
yeah, I
line.
don't
If you're
I
left or
don't
right,
think
you're wrong.
yeah, I don't think the general population, because you take anything like climate change. You know what I mean? That's a hard left position, and the right may not believe in it, but the right is probably more willing to say, okay, well, let's put some strict things on our factories, or let's clean our water better, or let's stop cutting down trees. You know what I mean? I just think that there's some rationale on the right side. Maybe not a whole lot, I guess, but on the left side, it doesn't matter what the right side says. It's wrong. I mean, they prove it by flipping their script all the time, right? Like defund the police, like all that stuff. Like we're for the working class guy, and then all of a sudden now they're supporting big tech companies. Like they prove that no matter what it is, they flip. But the right tends to believe the same stuff all the time and is willing to compromise. I see that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe because I'm in that group, or as Mike used to say, I'm pure Republican.
You are. You bleed red.
I do. We all bleed red. I don't know if you noticed that, but
Well, these guys aren't going to bleed red anymore because they're not going to be there.
right. Many gun manufacturers are abandoned anti-Second Amendment states. This is one
Why?
of those moments where you just say, duh.
Yeah. Why am I going to have my company in a state that doesn't support my company?
Right. I mean, this is already happening anyway. Many companies are abandoning states like California and New York. Many companies are left.
Yeah. If the state doesn't support you, then the company leaves. It doesn't matter if you're a gun manufacturer, or if you're a car
Yep.
manufacturer, or if
But this is
you're a
just a no-brainer,
farmer.
right?
Yeah, I'd
Because
leave
why
too.
would you be in a state that is going to come after lawsuits come after you if people use your guns and then the state allows them to sue you? Why would you be there?
Yeah, that's like going after silverware because you made somebody fat. You gave them someone diabetes. You gave.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you going after silverware makers? Why aren't you going after the
Well,
oven makers? Why aren't you going after the microwave makers? That's
because
when they make
because I
your
told you.
food.
Because I just told you, because it's not about the guns. It's that they think you're bad. They think you are bad people. So anything you do, see, I guarantee you, just like we said, I told you this before, we were sending guns over to Ukraine, and these same morons are like, yeah, arm the people, but take away our guns because we don't need them. Like, what? Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking about? You know what I
yeah.
mean? So that's the way these people think. It's not even about a stance. They don't even have a stance. They just believe that you're wrong, they're right, and no matter what they say, what you say, it's wrong, and they can do whatever they want.
My body, my choice. Except the vaccine, you must get
Right.
that.
Exactly. You see, that's my point. That's why
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many issues they flip on them. But you ask, most conservative or most, I hate calling left right because I really don't know that, I don't know where the line is. But you ask most people that don't do that, they're not flipping. they're not flipping their values. They're usually strong in their values and they stay there.
You know, it's funny. I think before, I'm going to say probably before Obama, I didn't know what left, right, liberal, and conservatives were. I had no clue.
Well, Mike used to jump on me about that too, like because he's followed politics for years, and I'm like, Mike, I haven't been into politics that long. I never had a reason to. I didn't care. It was corrupt system. It just ran the way it was. It seemed like everybody in America was decently content with it. I didn't see all the big issues, you know what I mean? So I didn't have a problem. Now I'm seeing it more because it's in your face. They brought it all into our plate. They mixed culture and politics and all that stuff, put it all on our plate. So now I'm into politics. I'm not into it as much as I could be. I'm just still reading headlines.
That's right. I go out and vote, but
here's the question: do you know who you're voting for?
I do. I do research and I do look who I'm voting. I don't vote party line. I don't.
No, and you shouldn't.
And I'm not even a Democrat or a Republican, so I'm a Republican.
Right. I've even say this much: even if you don't have the time or want to do the research, at least find a source you trust. You know what I mean? Find a source that doesn't continuously lie to you or promise you crap, because that doesn't work. It just never works that way. You know what I mean? Just look for the red flags. Find a source you trust. You know what I mean? Even if you don't want to research.
I like those sites that are out there in the presidential race, where they just give you questions and you answer them. They give you a whole list of questions and you answer them, and then it tells you which way.
Oh wow!
You lean. It gives you a percentage of this and a percentage of that, which way you lean in towards each candidate.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's good because it should be the issues. But the problem with that is the candidate's got to follow through, which is what blows my mind. My mind. I think you can't. I think it's factual. I mean, you fact checkers out there could probably run it, but I think in my time, obviously, once again, I haven't been following politics, but I have never seen a president, a true president, ever follow through on his promises as much as Trump did. As much as Trump did. Of course, there were some things he promised that he didn't deliver. You know what I mean? I'm still waiting for the bill, for the wall to go to Mexico. But I've never seen so many things fulfilled. And the difference is Trump went in there to fix things. These career politicians, they need to kick the can. If they don't kick the can down the road and they fix everything, you're not going to need them next election.
I think I said this maybe 1 or 2 episodes back. Get rid of the DNR and play term limits. I might have said that once or twice. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, quite a bit. And I agree with you. But I still don't think that's going to change the attitude. You're going to just have one establishment and nobody's going to be able to tell the difference, which is kind of what we have right now.
Not if you have term limits. I don't know if you have term limits. If it's going to be as strong.
Well, right. But you know what? They'll find a way, because then they'll just start putting their own people in there who are going to follow them up. And then they'll just be on the list of, hey, you pay me a favor because I got you elected.
Yeah, it could be.
And then that'll just keep going. It'll keep getting handed by. The whole good old boy system will work its way through all its people before, that could last how long? President's 4 years. I mean, take the Democratic Senate. You know what I mean? What are they, 50 people? Senate. Yeah, well, right. Either side. There are 100 people, senators, right? How many presidencies can you make out of 100?
Yeah, right.
It's like 400 years or something.
Yeah.
So you can have 400 years of the same people getting elected. So it's not even if you take the DNR away. You really got to go in and clean the swamp. You got to get a way to get people to not be so corrupted by the power. You got to make laws that you cannot serve in this position or multiple positions or in any position for X amount of time. Yeah, and then you can't be benefited from it.
You're like a senator, then you're a congressman.
Right.
You're a senator, then you're a congressman.
Oh, then you're the chief of staff, and then you're the head of Boeing.
Yeah.
Then you're head of the Boeing company, and then all of a sudden
you're head of FBI, and then you're head of.
Then you're going overseas, and you're negotiating deals with them, and then it's the same thing. And you look at it, all the names keep popping up. They're all the same people, and that's got to change. And we got to change because we are done with this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Nate, again for being here. get involved. Website's on the bottom. I think it's always on the bottom. You can't avoid it. I just don't know if the website's still there because I don't go on it.
We can avoid it.
Oh, look at that. Gone. Ooh, poof. Just like this show is. Gone. And until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin already. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinion. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.